sometimes moms, and I'm speaking to you moms, sometimes we do things to get under dad's skin. And it has nothing to do with them being good dads. It has a lot to do with I'm going to get back at them for what they did to me. You cannot use the children to get back at dad. You cannot use the children to get back at dad. Hey guys, happy Father Friday. So I just want to ask you a question. Have you ever felt like your child was being turned against you? Have you felt like, no matter what you do, it's like you just can't ever seem to get it right concerning your children? If you answered yes to either one of those questions, then this episode is actually for you. Today, we're talking about Father Friday. So stay tuned. So, welcome to Father Friday, where good fathers get the support that they need, the clarity, and the strength that they need. Today, we're talking about something that you dads deal with. And you probably deal with it silently. It's called parental alienation or emotional manipulation. So, first, I have to cover all the stuff. So, again, I am not an attorney. Everything that you hear me say is from my own experiences or experiences that I've talked about or others have talked to me about. I am not here to give you any kind of legal advice because I'm not an attorney and I am not qualified. So I advise you go seek your own legal advice, go do your own research. It's super, super important before you make any decisions. Okay? All right, we got that out the way. So, what is parental alienation? Parental alienation is when one parent interferes with or tries to damage the relationship between the child and the parent. So the courts in New Jersey typically recognize a list of things, and I have my lists waiting, all right? So get your pen, your pad ready, and make a note of some of these things because you could be experiencing this or you may be seeing this in the relationship with you and your child. And no, you're not going crazy. It's actually happening. Make a note of it, okay? So here we go. Telling the child negative things about the father, blocking calls or FaceTime, canceling visits for non-emergencies, making the child feel guilty for loving the father. Your dad doesn't care about you. Not telling the father about school events, preventing medical or school access, creating fear. Daddy is dangerous. Rewarding the child for rejecting the father. I first have to say this, okay? Because there's a thin line here, even though I read the list. Number one, if you're in a dangerous situation where there is abuse going on, or there's any type of, danger, get some help, okay? Telling your child that daddy is dangerous, and when I say dangerous, I'm talking about maybe physically harming, maybe they harmed you physically and you fear that that may happen to the child. That's something that you might want to talk about to the proper authorities, right? So that they can get involved. I would also consider getting your child some sort of therapy and getting everyone therapy so that this can be talked about to a professional, all right? So I'm not, I don't want to play around with that. And if you are, even if it's vice versa, if you feel like mom is doing some abusive things, then you need to talk about that to the proper authorities. I would never stand in the way of that. And I don't want to confuse that because you may be saying that for a reason, but it needs to be handled properly, right? Because pouring that out into the child and not really, especially a child who's not really at an age to understand or to, who's not able to process that properly, that's where the therapy comes into play. So if you're going to maybe make those statements, make sure that they're in a position to process that. All right. The other thing is, I'm saying all of these things to you, but I'm a parent, so I'm not perfect. And as I'm going through the list, I'm recognizing that there have been, some things that I have actually said. I don't know if my intention was to alienate as much as it was to educate my child. And when I did share the things that I shared, it was to really protect, not so much to turn my child against his father, you know. But I have to apologize if I did do that, and maybe even have that conversation, with my child. So yeah, this is touchy because I've seen it done, but it also should make anyone watching this reflect themselves and think like, did I say that to them? Question it makes you question, like, why did you say that to your child? Was it to give them information? What can they do with it? You know what I'm saying? Are you just dumping in their lap because you're just emotionally distraught, or are you saying it for a reason? And I'm saying all of this, it sounds like I'm going round in circles. I don't want to go into too much detail regarding my own situation, but I'll share as much as I can because I still have to protect my own children, right? Yeah, I think that's all I have to say about that. Just, it should make you think about things that you're saying to your children about the other parent, but it should also make you aware, like more aware that if it is something more serious, then you need to seek help. Okay? So the courts do not tolerate gatekeeping, any type of interference with parenting time, or emotional abuse being disguised as protecting the children. Parental alienation is emotional abuse, and judges take that seriously. So, here are some signs to detect parental alienation or emotional abuse. I'm headed to the list. All right. Behavioral signs. So, the child suddenly rejects the father out of nowhere, or the mother out of nowhere. Okay. The child uses words or phrases that sound like the mother. The child appears fearful or anxious around the father without reason. I know some of you are like, oh my gosh. The child refuses visits but can't explain why. The child says, Mom says you. Continue that sentence. Let's complete that sentence. The child acts like they're choosing sides. So these are the behavioral signs. There are emotional signs as well. So get your pad and pen if you don't have it already. Here we go. Okay, the child feels responsible for mom's feelings. The child acts like you are dangerous, Dad, despite no history. The child believes false stories. Here are some psychological signs. Extreme loyalty to one parent. Rehearsed or repeated statements. That's all I got, but just remember, children don't naturally hate their parents. That's something that they're taught. So how do the courts feel about this? Here in New Jersey, because that's where I've had experience, I'll let you know. So these are 5 things that judges hate. Number 1, interference with parenting time. Number 2, manipulation. Number 3, refusing to co-parent. Number 4, false accusations. And I stress, false accusations. Number 5, high conflict created intentionally. So dads, this is what you can do, especially if you're headed to court, whether it be divorce, whether it be you're filing a motion because you want more parenting time, whatever it is, okay? When you are in the courtroom, this is what you need to know that the judge is looking at. Judges notice when you stay calm, right? He notices, or he or she notices when you stay calm. Judges also notice when you're keeping documentation. They notice when you consistently show up. They notice when you avoid trash talking. Judges notice when you try your best to protect your child's emotional health. They also notice when you try to come up with solutions instead of bringing drama. And for this, in the courts New Jersey, the courts may order makeup time, any time that you missed. They may also order therapy for your child, which honestly, that's something your child should be getting, especially in this situation where this is a major change in their life. The courts also will order parenting coordination, making sure that you guys are on the same page, and fines for non-compliance, as well as changes to a custody arrangement. Just remember this, the parent that goes out of their way to support the relationship with the other parent is the parent that the judge will trust the most. So what are some things that you can do if you discover or feel like there's some parental alienation going on? Here's my list. First of all, no yelling or screaming or long arguments, right? This is what you should do. For example, when you're sending maybe a text message, which I suggest text messages, text, I'm confirming I will pick him up or her up at 3 p.m. as ordered. Period, end of story. Keep it short and sweet. Please let me know when I can call. Okay? Our son or our daughter deserves both parents. Keep it short and sweet. And again, this is something that I would suggest you text or email, because then you have a paper trail. 9 times out of 10, if you're talking on the phone, you're going to get really riled up emotionally because you don't, in some cases, mom may not be calm. And your first response is to strike back, okay? Or maybe you're angry and you're the one that approaches the situation angrily. I think if you write it down before you have an opportunity to actually read it before you send it. All right? So think about that. Again, please make sure you are documenting everything, okay? That includes screenshots, missed visits, block calls, child's comments, text from mother. That goes back to your journal. You should already have a notebook handy, and you need to be writing down the strangest things. I know sometimes you dads just brush off a lot of things because a lot of things may not bother you right away. But the things that you're about to brush off, take a pen and a paper, put a date next to it, and write down. I called and this is what was said. Write it down, close the book, and you can forget about it. All right? If you have to recall it, you can go back to your book and it's there, as opposed to, that's not what you said. You said, and I said, come on now. You're not looking, you looking crazy, right? You're looking crazy. You want to be able to document everything. If you don't have a pen and a paper handy, get your notes out on your phone. All of these iPhones and Androids, you have a note. Find your notes section in your phone and take notes about what just happened. Sometimes you can actually press the microphone and speak what just happened. Whatever you have, document it, because that's how you look crazy in court when you come. It makes you look unprepared. You're unprepared and you don't have a leg to stand on because it's always going to be mom said this and that's what they're going with. Okay. Because you have nothing to back up. No, I hear what she's saying, but on that particular day, let me grab, is it all right if I look at my phone? Well, in my notes, it said, okay, this is what I have written down. Da, she said, da, 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 and then I said, da, 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 da. You see what I'm saying? Okay. Stay consistent. Don't stop calling. Don't stop showing up. Don't disappear. Courts see that as disinterest. Interest, yes. I'm saying it crazy. I have to repeat this part, okay? Because what tends to happen is dads start to disappear because they get frustrated. Every time I come to this house, look, I'll give you an example. Every time my late husband, okay, I'm not going to say every time, I'm being extreme, but most of the time my late husband would go to pick up his daughter. And when he would arrive after working a 12-hour shift, when he would arrive, 8 hours, whatever, 12 hours, 8 hours, wherever, when he would arrive after work and have to drive the 15 miles to pick up his daughter, mom would conveniently be having to do her hair, which means he has to sit outside and wait. Disrespectful. Okay? Disrespectful. Sometimes moms, and I'm speaking to you moms, sometimes we do things to get under dad's skin. And it has nothing to do with them being good dads. It has a lot to do with I'm going to get back at them for what they did to me. You cannot use the children to get back at dad. You cannot use the children to get back at dad. If it's an abusive situation, go get help, go get therapy. But you cannot dangle the children as you aim fiery darts at the head of baby father. Go look at my video in the poem. Can't do that. Okay? Stop doing that if you're doing it. Let dad be a dad to his children. Doesn't matter how upset you are. Doesn't matter if he sent Johnny back with mismatched socks. Go buy a new pair of socks. But if dad is showing up, let him show up. If you're fearful and there's abuse or, dad is showing up drunk or something like that, that's different. Dad is showing up, let him. And if there's something that you need to remind him of, hey, dad, can you make sure that you pick up a pack of socks for Johnny because Johnny had benchmat socks? Put that in writing and send it to dad. But stop playing this game, okay? You're hurting yourself and you're hurting your children and you're hurting dad. And it's causing dad sometimes to not want to show up, okay? Let's keep it real. Do not badmouth the mother, dad, even if she is wrong. Children remember who made them feel safe and not who won the argument. I don't think I need to say that again. And worst case scenario, file a motion if any of this stuff is happening and it's not being resolved. Okay. And a motion, again, it's a motion to enforce your rights. It's called a motion to enforce litigants. You are the litigants, right? Plaintiff and the defendant, litigant rights. If she's violating the order, okay? You can also file a motion to modify if alienation is harming the child, okay? Most importantly, remain calm, okay? The court reads messages, they read emails, they read social media, and I'm guilty of it. I've gotten so upset where I've just been like, you know, I've done it. You've done it, learn from it, get better, try again, try to do better the next time, okay? Your calm tone equals your protection. You must be the stable parent, even when the situation is unstable. Okay, so I got that out. We're all done here. Let's talk a little bit about the mental health and the toll this might be taking on you guys, okay? I'm going to go to my list again, and I want you to say to yourself, am I feeling these things? Acknowledge these things, okay? Are you feeling powerless? Are you feeling depressed because you're being denied access to your children? You hearing the children say things that you kind of know are not true, and it's kind of hard to defend yourself because it's only going to turn into a huge argument. So it's just depressing because it's like, wow, are my children looking at me crazy? Even if you made a mistake in the past, did you make a mistake in the past and, it's still being just drilled into the kid's head? Do you feel anxiety, especially before the court date? Because it's like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? Is the judge going to see things from my point of view as well? Do you have a fear of being lied about? Are you withdrawing from your friends and your family? Are you alienating yourself and, separating yourself? I had someone tell me they didn't tell anybody about the situation that they were facing, with separation and divorce and child custody, and they weren't talking to anybody. And they finally decided to talk about it, especially to people at work, and found support, found people giving them advice. That's important. That's important. Don't think that your situation is just so so special to people that when they hear it, it's like, oh, get away from me. Sometimes you are going to need a community of people to help you through this. So maybe it's best to sit down, maybe go to your boss and tell your boss, especially if it might affect your job. Tell your boss, I'm going through this. This is what's happening. They might have some resources for you. A closed mouth, don't get fed. Do you feel shame, anger? You feel like giving up? You feel like I'm not going to go and visit my kids no more. I don't want to go over there no more. I don't want to call her anymore. I had enough. I'd rather her just keep the kids and let her raise them. And I'll just, pop in when they become like, 20, when we can actually talk to each other when they're 18 of age. Do you feel that way? Do you feel exhaustion from always having to be the calm one, right? Always remaining calm. If you said yes to any of those, and if there's some that I didn't even mention and you're feeling some kind of way, I have some resources for you. And just remember, anything that I talk about, we'll post it in the description, so go check it out. First of all, we have New Jersey Mental Health Cares Hotline. You can call them at 866-202-HELP. And I think I gave you the number the last time. I don't know why I don't just keep it. The other one is YMCA Fatherhood Programs. And again, if you don't have the YMCA, you can always look into the Boys and Girls Club. The other thing is free support groups online for alienated dads. If you type that in your browser, you'll come up with a bunch, I'm sure. All right. And opencounseling.com. Let's say that again, opencounseling.com. If you're in New Jersey, you can /New Jersey, /NJ, and you'll get to them. Okay. You need help. Okay. You have to protect your mind. Your children need you. Anything that you're going through, your physical body is going to be affected by that. Go see your doctor regularly. Make sure you are telling your doctor what you're going through also, so that they can check your heart. Make sure that you're eating properly. All right. Drink a lot of water because that helps, right? When your body's dehydrated, it's hard for it to function the way it's supposed to function. Okay. So make sure you're taking care of yourself. Your children need you healthy and not broken. So, what did you learn today? We learned that parental alienation is damaging. Hopefully, you learned that you do have rights, especially here in the state of New Jersey, and you can look into that in wherever other state you're actually watching from. Stay calm, stay consistent, stay present, right? Don't move away from your kids. Don't disappear because this is too much. Go get help, but stay present. Document everything. Just remember, you are not powerless and your children need you. They need you, Dad. So I hope you got everything you needed to get from today's episode. Next week, I hope you'll join us. We'll be talking about something super interesting and you'll want to watch: high conflict co-parenting and how to protect your peace. Remember, we want to keep the movement going. I hope you're going out there and you're checking out those shirts. Remember I said Godisms? Let's look on this side. I have the thing, but not .com. I should actually put a sticker here. Not .com, .org. So it is Godisms, but it's .org. If you want the t-shirt, hashtag babydaddylivesmatter, go to this place right here, this site, godisms.org. I haven't yet been able to put it on TikTok yet. I'm still working on that. But once I do that, you'll be the first to know. In the meantime, go over there. Right now, I'm offering 15% off. And I am going to begin taking half of the proceeds from each one of the t-shirt sales. And I'm going to put it in a fund so that I will be able to help any of you dads with maybe some of your legal fees, if you're struggling financially to cover those, or if it's something that's definitely going to put you in a deficit. For those of you who, if you're in a great place financially, maybe this is an opportunity to really help out another dad that's going through something crazy like this. Maybe you can sponsor someone and help to pay their legal fees, because there's a lot of good working dads out there who are making money, who are taking care of their things themselves, but now they have to move out of the house that they had. They have to find an apartment. They have to make sure that the apartment is conducive to them having their children over. So there's a lot of changes that are happening that can affect you dads financially. So I'm appealing to any dads out there. If you have the resources, maybe you're an attorney, maybe you can offer some of your services for free. What do they call it? Pro bono. Some of these dads, they need you. They need your assistance. And there are some people that are in the community that you're out there, you can help. Like I said, I'm not an attorney. I do this primarily because I've seen it. I know for me, when I hear about these stories, I'm saying to myself, I wasn't that baby mother. Like, I've always opened the door to my children having a relationship, but I do this because I want the dads to be in their children's lives, and I want it to be healthy for them. And I don't want dads to walk away simply because mom is interfering, or maybe mom is not around and they're being raised by the grandparents, granddad or grandma, because whatever the reason is. I just want dads to be a part of their kids' lives, right? And I want you guys to feel like you should be a part of your kid's life and create, positive human beings and positive situations for them, all right? I don't want you to be in situations where you're frustrated and angry and you decide to just walk away. That's not helping your children. So if you guys are out there and you can offer services to some of these dads that are having to go to court, please do that. Please do that. That would be an awesome thing. In the meantime, if you can't, go buy a t-shirt and, I don't know. I'll be able to help in some way, shape, or form. I haven't decided how yet to disperse any funds that I get, but I will be collecting and I will make that decision. And, if you reach out to me and you need help, I'll do the best I can. I'll either say, yes, I can help you, or no, I'm not going to be able to help you. Maybe. The other thing is, if you're someone out there and you want to give me your information, please, by all means, reach out to me. I have the site. You could DM me, you could leave a message. Leave me your information so that I can pass it on to other people. Even while I'm talking, I'll put it in one of the videos and say that this person gave me their information if you want to reach out to them. If you're a family law attorney, or if you're a judge who, if I got it wrong, you want to say, that's not how we do things, tell me, give me that information so that I can get it out there and say, hey, well, I got this information from this judge or from this attorney, from this legal specialist, whoever you are. If you can help these dads, reach out to me and I'll share your information with anyone who needs it. Okay. I want you right, dads. I want you right. All right. Well, just remember, you're not a visitor. All right. You are not a visitor. You are a father and you deserve to be in your children's life. # baby daddy lives matter. Talk to you soon.